Hi, it's Richard Butler from Ebits.ie, showing you how you can help local businesses and make money too. So in this lesson I want to talk about the autoresponder sequence. And it's something that's very, very important. But first of all, let's do a recap. Up to this point, you've learned what you need in a mailing software. We looked at the various different softwares that are out there, what they do, what you actually need, and how much they cost. The second thing we looked at was how to create the opt-in form. So the form where people will actually sign up for your mailing list. Then we talked about thank you pages, which is the page after they sign up and what should be on that page. And then we also discussed download pages. So at this point, you have some visitors who have signed up for your mailing list. But now what do you do? Well, what should happen is the person should be put into a sequence of automated messages. And this is a series of emails that they will receive every X days. Now, how often you mail them depends on you. I don't recommend mailing them, for example, twice a day. But maybe set it up so that every third day at 7 p.m. your Eastern Standard Time, they receive an email from you. And try and keep this as a constant so that they come to expect your email every X days at a certain time. Now, one of the problems can be time zones, because not everybody is going to be in Central European Time or Eastern Standard Time, etc. So pick a time that is... It's very difficult because you can't really pick a time that you know that everybody will be waiting for your email. But I normally go with Eastern Standard Time, which would be the time in New York. I try and do it either first thing in the morning, or I set it up for after work so that people will see my emails. When you buy the more expensive autoresponder softwares, some of them will allow you to actually set it up so that if you say 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it will then send it out at 7 p.m. in the time zone of each particular recipient. So if I'm in Ireland, it'll send it out for 7 p.m. in Ireland. If I'm in Spain, it'll be 7 p.m. in Spain. If I'm in Moscow, it'll be 7 p.m. in Moscow. It'll always go out at the same time. Do you need to spend $40 a month just to get that? Probably not. Okay. But it is a very handy feature. Maybe later on you might actually do something like that. Now, another thing that you can do with the autoresponder sequence is personalize your emails, so that every email that is sent out says Dear Richard rather than Dear Friend. Now, I've seen people, famous people like Tony Robbins, for example, and some of his emails come out, the motivational speaker, and it just says Dear Friend. And this is really impersonal. To me, it shows you don't really care about the person on your list. So I much prefer if emails are personalized. Now, remember, it takes about 7 contacts with a person to get them to buy. So I recommend the first 7 emails should be more educational content than trying to sell something. Okay. I'm going to talk about what you're going to put in those 7 emails in the next video lesson, but I think you should be more building up the trust with people so that they know that you are somebody they can trust. Now, you're going to set up the expectations, and one way of doing this is letting them know that you're going to email them every X amount of days so that they know what they're going to get. It's essential that you personalize the emails. So don't have the email subject the email body as Dear Friend. You can have Dear Richard. Now, how do you do this? Well, when they sign up for your mailing list, they put in their name and their email address. And this becomes a field within the mailing software. And the field may be something like bracket, bracket, first name, bracket, bracket. And every time it sees this merge field, it replaces the bracket, bracket, first name, bracket, bracket text with Richard, John, Peter, Paul. And this then personalizes. It's like you might remember from years ago, mail merge in Microsoft Word. It's similar to this. So this allows you to address each email and put it in with the person's name. As I said, rather than dear friend or just subscriber, it's dear John, dear Richard. And the thing is, people like the sound of their own name. They say it's one of the things that people love is the sound of their own name. So when they read the email and it says dear Richard, and then further on down the email it says, Richard, if you're really interested in this, you should contemplate doing X, Y, and Z. Now, the joy of having a sequence, an autoresponder sequence is, it's not a joy, but it does take time to set up. But once done, everybody who joins your mailing list follows that sequence. So it's set up once and then reap the benefits forever. Now you can edit the actual email sequence at any time that you want. And anybody, for example, if you have 52 emails in your email sequence and people have reached email number 40 in that sequence, if you edit email number 39, the people who have reached email 40 won't get it, but the people who haven't reached email 39 will get the edited sequence. And this is something that's important, which we'll talk about in the next lesson as well. Now, some pointers. Ensure you map out all your emails. I've had this problem before that I've created a mailing list, I create 7 emails, and then I forget to create any more emails. All the people in the list go through my 7 emails, and then I want to add more to the sequence, and sometimes they don't get into the new sequence. So once they've reached 7, the auto responder software says, okay, stop those people from receiving more emails because there's no emails in the sequence. And then when I add more emails in the sequence, because of the way the software is set up, it doesn't automatically push those people to get emails 8, 9, and 10. Okay, and this is the same in all softwares. Make your sequence logical so that it's 7 lessons and each lesson follows on from one to the other. The first few emails up to 7 need to be educational, because if you start selling to people straight away, they're going to get annoyed with you and they're going to lose faith in you, and they will just decide to unsubscribe. And always use the personalization fields. Now, as always, if you want to be kept up to date, if you want more information, visit Ebits.ie, local business marketing, and I'll talk to you in the next video.